Hey, welcome back to Rich Jam. It's the Rachel Live Show. It's Tuesday. What is the date today? It's Tuesday the 27th. It's Tuesday the 27th. The meetup is tonight, MEAT. We got a bunch of food out of Wildwood ready for us. They're making it right now. And the workout, there was a little bit of a glitch. So a little bit of a workout. There's a little bit of a glitch. Some of the ads went out for, that said 6:30, and some of the ads went out for 7. We got a little mixed up on stuff. That's our errors. Really sorry about that. So we're just going to shoot the gap, right? Well, that didn't work very well. We're just going to shoot right down the middle. And so the warm-up will start at 6:45, and the workout will start at 7. We'll probably be done around 7:45, and we'll bust over to Wildwood right away because I'm sure everybody's going to – I don't know. If you're anything like me, once you're done with the workout, you are just famished. You're just like, feed me. So I think it's going to be really fun. I'm really excited about it, and I hope you guys are too. Please, this is open to the public, so please bring your friends, bring your family, and bring them out because it's going to be a really good time. Anyway,
yeah.
What are we talking about today? We just got back from
a conference.
Are you going to the meetup tonight?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Both of
at
us.
6:45 is when I should be there.
Yeah, 6:45. Okay. If you show up at 6:30, you can just kind of hang out,
and then we'll eat a bunch of meat afterwards. Yeah, so we were gone last week. So I think right around when we were supposed to have our live show, we were in line for Harry Potter.
I almost pulled it up, but yeah. There was basically essentially I had zero internet connection the entire time I was down there, so I didn't.
We should have done it. But yeah, it's because we were at a conference in Orlando.
Well, we went to a conference in Orlando, but in order to get ticket, there was basically we waited too long to buy plane tickets, and then because we waited so long, we had to go a day early, and because we went a day early, we got to go fulfill a dream, and I had no idea how big of a deal this was. It was like a huge deal. She got so excited. It was actually really fun. You want to tell them about it?
It was basically like, okay, I'll in a nutshell. Like when you first are reading the Harry Potter books, I read them before the movies came out.
I haven't read them.
So in my mind, it was like those books are so kind of like real, and you just picture it in your head, like how it would be, and then we got to go. So that was really cool.
Yeah, I bet it was. I haven't read the books, and I haven't really watched the movies either. I know.
Yeah.
I know everybody that have said that too, like they almost like verbally slaps me across the face. But it was cool. It was so cool. She was so excited before we went though. I would guess like I had a really good time. I think I would have had a really good time without her. Mm-hmm. But I had it was one of the seriously one of the highlights of our relationship, seeing her have that much fun. I'm dead serious. It was just like, I can't believe I'm watching this. She was just like a little kid.
Well, and I mean, Adam said at one point, I know anybody who has read the books and the movies and has wanted to go to Harry Potter World, he looks at me and we're getting ready to go on the Hogwarts Express. And he's like, what's 9 3/4? I don't get it. What's going on? And I'm like, oh my God.
I didn't know. Becca says that you need to watch. I don't know if you did this, but the need is in all caps. And you need to watch them. It's pretty much a life requirement.
Yeah.
Becca's probably.
Anybody from now on. Yes.
Yeah. All right. But Harry Potter World was awesome. It was really fun. Both the rides that we went on, I was like, this is awesome. I'm so glad that I came. Mm-hmm. It was a really good time.
Yeah.
And then the weather was kind of crappy, but at the same time, that made it so there was less people. And so we didn't have to wait in line for anything. It was great.
It was awesome.
She bought a wand, and I didn't realize what the wands did. And then she got all giddy, doing all this stuff.
You get to do, spells, all around.
I know.
So if you do the right, hand motions and you say then the spells, appear. It's pretty geeky, but anyway. The reason we went was for the conference.
Yeah, the reason we went was for the conference. And it was a marketing / growth and development / business / it was a lot of different things that I should have been focusing on way earlier in my career, but I didn't.
I mean, we've been to conferences before, but this is a pretty good one.
I've been to tons of conferences. I've been to so many strength and conditioning and nutrition conferences that it's insane. I just haven't gone to any of these. And the realization I have now is that if I don't go to these, then I can't help as many people because not as many people will know about the message that we have at Grit Gym. So that's why we're going to these now. But I wanted Rachel to go with me because they're very challenging to your mind when you go to these things. And I would always come back from these events and I'd want to tell her all about it. I'd be really excited. And she'd be like, I have no clue what you're talking about. I just like, she couldn't share the excitement with me. It was kind of a bummer. And so like, I'm glad I'm more than willing to pay double for the ticket so that she can be along with me, even if she had zero interest in the topic that was at the conference, just so that we could share that time together. But it is mind bendy.
And it's nice to talk about everything. So yeah, we got back and my sister was like, why do you guys always go to conferences? And like, I don't know, like if she can really relate, but like, my sister is a pretty curious person. And I think that she would want to go, but like, I don't know. It's just like a thing that if you want to continue learning and growing and bringing more positive influence to the people around you, it's like you just kind of have to do more. You have to read more, be around more people with that kind of mindset, and learn from the ones that have already done it.
Yeah, and reading more is one thing. I read 1 hour a day, every day, no matter what. I'm always like read. Oh, I should say study, because sometimes it's a video course. But being around other people is like, it's like the difference between reading an athlete's biography and going to practice with them and going to a game with them and seeing them practice and seeing them play. It's that kind of difference. It's massively different to be around people that are doing the kind of stuff that you want to do, or just being in the presence of that kind of energy. It does something. It's just kind of crazy what it does inside of your mind, and being able to witness how many people in a room all have that sort of energy. I don't know. It's kind of different.
I mean, I don't think that there was, like, it's pretty hard to find anybody in the entire room of over 3,000 people that is being a Debbie Downer.
Oh, yeah.
Like, everyone is, like, on a high of positivity, and, like, everyone wants to see everyone do well.
Yep.
And they want to take what they've learned in the 4 days. Oh, my God, 4 days is actually kind of long.
Yeah.
For being in that kind of, like, mindset. But what you bring back and get out of it is just, it's like, it's silly to think that you'd come back and act certain ways. Like, if you've ever known a person that's just always a negative person, you have to constantly check yourself and make sure you're not feeding into what they're trying to give you. You're
not taking their invitation, is the way that I say it. I think miserable people love company. They love company, and they're just giving out invitations to every single person. How miserable can I try to make everybody so that I can have some company? Am I miserable?
No. I deal with one person that, like, is particularly always trying to pull me down into that stuff.
And I'm hoping it's not me.
It's not you. But it's like to an extreme level. Like, I don't think many people come across someone like this, but I'm greeted with, like, the finger sometimes, or.
I mean, I do that too.
But I've talked to him about this before. I'm like, I'm not going to let you do that to me. Like, I try every day to wake up with a smile on my face, or to bring positivity. And whether I'm feeling it or not, like, I don't wake up feeling like I have the most energy, but I don't want to wake up with a frown on my face, walking around, like, trying to spread my negativity to everyone. Because, like, I mean, how awful is that? Like, to think that you would be the cause of somebody feeling a certain way in a negative way. I mean,
you mean, like, I don't think those people realize that they're doing it.
Oh, I think this person does. To
a certain extent. Like,
they use other people's sadness to feel better about themselves.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a sickness or if it's like a personality trait.
But if you ask them, hey, do you know that you're just trying to put that person down so that you can feel better about yourself? They'd be like, that's not what I'm doing. I'm just having a good time. Why can't anybody take a joke? It's like, nah, you're being a douche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in my mind, I don't think they might be intelligent in some ways, but in a lot of ways, they have a lot of work to do ahead of them to feel any sort of happiness, because they're never going to feel good about themselves. They're never going to have.
But it takes someone like what you just said. Hey, I'm not going to allow you to pull me into your bullshit. it takes someone saying that to them for them to wake up, I think.
Yeah.
Like if no one would have ever, like, I always wondered, like there were certain things that I was doing on a regular basis. I didn't really realize that I was doing. I didn't even know that I do it. But like I go back like 10 years, if I go back and scale back far enough in social media and I see some of my posts, I'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe I would have written something like that. I mean, granted, I was like 22 years old and I was miserable and I was having a really tough time in life and I was going through some things, but man, I just can't even, I can't even believe that I was that person. But there's something to say for growth too. So.
Well, it's like taking a walk in the morning. If you walk by 10 people and go like, finger, 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 like, are those people going to walk away feeling like, oh yeah, like, good morning? Yeah. No, you want to say like, hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, if you had the opportunity to be the light of somebody's day. Build that person
up instead of tearing them down.
If you had the opportunity to be the light of somebody's day, why wouldn't you take the opportunity? You know, that's what I think of Great Gym. When people walk in the door, I want them to feel extremely welcome. Just so welcome. Like I really want them to feel like I want them there. Because I do. I genuinely do want people, but I want people in Grit Gym. But I also want them to feel good in my presence. Like, it does help me to help other people. Like, it does help. Like, we were talking about that just before the show. We were talking about like kind of the idea of being selfish and the idea of taking care of yourself first. So that you can be the light for other people. I think that's courageous. Like, if you are if you're the first person to do that and you trailblaze the way, other people are like, maybe I can do that too. And then then it's like a pay it forward sort of thing.
It spreads. Negativity spreads just as much as positivity can spread.
And what did you want to talk about state? I know that you wrote that down.
Okay, so one of the things that I really took away from it was staying in a state, like using your mind to get out of kind of a slump. So like, we don't give ourselves enough credit for being able to change your state of mind. So staying in a state of like anxiety and fear and negativity is only going to make that feeling intensify, and you kind of get used to it.
Yeah, so that's eventually it just becomes the norm. It's like, this is just who I am. I'm an anxious person. I'm an angry person. It's like bullshit.
So if you work on being anxious, you're going to be a lot more anxious. I'm not saying you're never going to be anxious again, but
the other
working on it constantly is going to just improve your ability to fight that feeling.
To manage it. Yeah.
So one of the quotes, I can't remember who said this, but it kind of like resonated. It said, kill the monster when it's a baby.
Yeah.
Do you remember who said that?
I don't.
Okay. I think it was Tony Robbins.
Tony Robbins was the last speaker at the event, and he got up there and he was supposed to speak for an hour, and he spoke for 3 hours. It was really interesting.
Let me explain it. So kill the monster when it's a baby. So he said, so when a monster gets so big and so I don't know. So it's basically like when that feeling or that anxiety gets so so large that you can't, it's a lot harder to take care of and to get rid of it. But when you kill it when it's a baby, it's much easier to manage. Yeah. So the first feeling of anxiety or stress or fear, acknowledge it and take care of it right then and there. I mean, it might not be easy. Confront it.
Yeah.
Because the more you feel like that, and the more you feel like you can't, you're not. I'm not explaining this.
No, you're doing great.
Okay. The more you feel like a victim, and the more you feel like there's nothing that can be done, or I don't know.
You dread, or like if you think of the monster,
the harder it is going to be.
Yeah, if you just thought, oh God, is there a monster under the bed, and you look immediately, and there's no monster. Okay, well, I'm good. The only monster here might be me.
Yeah. So the fear will build if you don't take care of it.
But if you don't confront that monster underneath the bed, then it's just going to grow and grow and grow. Would you rather be able to stop Godzilla when he was an egg, or would you rather wait until it could take down skyscrapers to try to confront it? Like, I want to just step on its head. Just be like, okay, well, now it's done.
That kind of goes back to being in that state of mind where it's like every morning, Maury texts me and is like, are you going to love yourself today?
Yeah.
So that's the first thing that I see. So I have to kind of, even if it was like are you going to be all in today? Like how you say, it's a state of mind that you're putting yourself into.
Yeah.
Whether you believe it in that moment or not, it's just you're putting it out there and you're kind of giving yourself.
Well, you're making it an option.
Yeah.
Like the default is always going to be that. It's always going to be, I'm afraid that I'm not enough. The default will always be that. But if I wake up and I say, like, am I all in, or am I going to be afraid that I'm not enough? Am I going to love myself today, or you have options? Am I going to be miserable today, or am I going to focus on what I can improve upon today?
Yeah.
You know,
starting
you
your
have
day
options.
off with, say, oh my God, I have so much to do today. I'm not going to get it done. And oh, then you get into a fight with your significant other, or
And then you get less done. And because you got less done, what happens?
then you're not able to be the positive influence
Yeah.
to everyone else. I mean, it's a lot harder. But
Right. If you the more you get done, the more you can get done. The more you work, the more you can work. The more you focus on the good, the more the good of the good that you get. Like a lot of people want to focus on like we talked a lot about this weekend in the car about with Elena about depression. It's like, well, if all you do is focus, I'm not saying that depression doesn't affect people, but if all you do is focus on being depressed, then you're probably going to be more depressed. If you focus on what can I do to be expressive, what can I do to progress, what can I do to focus on improving, what can I do to focus on the present priority, what can I do to focus on, what can I do to focus on something besides being depressed? I bet you're more. I'm not saying that you might not get depressed ever again, but I guarantee you that this way works out a lot better than the guarantee that you are going to be more depressed.
I mean, it'd be a shame to like look back and see that, say you were depressed for 5 years. For 5 years, you could have been like getting better at the things that you wanted to get better at, but you kind of just like put yourself in that bubble. I'm going to be depressed. I'm going to be depressed for the next 5 years.
At some point, it becomes a decision. When you have solutions, there's all these solutions to not be depressed that don't involve a pill, then you're making a decision to be depressed.
And even if it's like a chemical thing, or like just also you need to like make the decision to do something about it.
Some of the chemical
and not just like live in it.
Some of the chemical thing we know, like science has proven this, that the chemical thing is a result of not doing the other things.
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah, like you might have a predisposition towards being more likely to be diabetic, let's say. Like some people can go their whole, like my dad, he can drink a 6-pack of beer, nachos at midnight, or ice cream at midnight, or a gallon of chocolate milk on his way home from work. He's done that for basically his entire life that I know of. In the entirety of I've known my dad, he has nachos or ice cream every night at midnight. He wakes up in the middle of the night, and on the way home from work, he either has a half a gallon of chocolate milk or he has a couple beers. Not on his way home from work, when he gets home from work. And like he never gains any weight, he doesn't have a predisposition to get diabetic. But there are some people that if they did that for a year, they'd be diabetic. So there are predispositions. However, the person who has a predisposition to be, I use way too much logic here to get this point across, but the person who has a predisposition to be diabetic, if they worked out, if they ate better, if they worked on their mindset, if they got to sleep at 10 o'clock and woke up at 6 every day, are they more or less likely to be overweight, diabetic, and all those things, even though they had the predisposition to it? Less likely. So like there has to be some to the actions that you do take. So kill the monster.
Yeah.
Kill the monster when it's a baby.
Okay, and then also that goes to follow the trail of stress. Like what stresses you out in the day, follow that like seed to where it started. And that usually shows you what your biggest fears are. So if your biggest fear is not being enough, or being late, or
and I guarantee you, like,
not being a good parent.
This was reinforced over the weekend, is that everybody's number one fear is that they are not enough. Like
even if you put all your fears in a bubble, you can put them in the category of not being enough.
If you go back to the source, it's always going to come back to that. So if you follow the stress, so if you label the stress, you find out what you're stressed about. I'm stressed about my kids. Well, you might be scared that you're not enough of a parent. If I'm stressed out about work, well, if you hate your job, I almost guarantee you that your job gives you the opportunity to think that you're not enough.
But that also gives you a direction to work on.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're stressed out about not having enough time in your day, delegate periods of time every day and work on that as a routine and not just today I'm going to get a lot of stuff done. Well, if you got a lot of stuff done every day, then you wouldn't be as stressed out on the other days.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about yesterday. That if other people have done it over and over again, then it must be a skill. And if it's a skill, then you can learn it. If you can learn it, then you can repeat it. Or the other way around. If it's a skill, then it's repeatable. And if you can repeat it, then you can learn it. If you can learn it, you can repeat it. And if you can repeat it, you can refine upon that skill. So just like how much I got a ton done in a day. Well, now that makes it so that you can get more done the next day.
So you're better at getting a lot of stuff done in that one day. So if you get it done, get all your stuff done every day, 5 days in a row, it's becoming a habit. And once it's a habit, it becomes kind of just second nature. You don't even have to think about it.
And you can keep getting better.
It's kind of like doing a job.
Better.
Like you do it every single day to the point where it's perfect. And then, not perfect, but
perfect.
You do it every day and it becomes second nature. You can do it with your eyes closed.
Yeah. Like I make the joke every once in a while that I could do my job at the gym. At this point, I'm good enough that on my I could be hungover, just rolled out of bed and still be extremely good at what I do. I could basically be asleep and do my job. But that's because I've done it for so long and been so ingrained in getting better at it. But following the stress, back to getting back to the source. I think that's what you have to do. If you have something in your life that you can't wrap your brain around, that you don't know what's going on, I think you got to figure that out and then you got to work backwards. And I think you're going to eventually keep on, what is it? Ogres have layers, like onions. You're just peeling back the onion. Until you get to the core of that source, and then you figured something out. Now we really can unlock some secrets, and it might be like the Princess and the Pea. You might just have that pea,
Yeah, I think a lot of those issues are not really known on the surface. Like if you were to ask someone, "What's your biggest stress?" They're like, "Oh, well, I don't have enough time." Well, why don't you have enough time?
Well, you're never gonna have enough time. I almost guarantee you.
I doubt anybody's like, oh yeah, I have lots of time. Well, okay, maybe you don't have a job or a family or kids or.
Okay. I need to rephrase that. I don't think that time is like a finite thing. I think time is infinite. But that gets almost into the spirituality sense of it. But at the end of your life, you might want to live a little bit longer. But I bet you that at the same time, I don't want to get into all the.
We all want more.
Crazy. If you want to get into kind of the existential side of stuff, stop me and ask me sometime. But I'm gonna wait a while so we can go to the show.
That's a different show for a different day. Not.
But I get.
While I'm right here.
But yeah, Rachel's I'll go into some of this stuff, and Rachel will be like, "Oh my God, he's crazy."
Whoa. It's more I'm just what are you talking about?
Yeah. And then I'm and then you die, and then you go back to the all, and then the all, then you grow to understand everything. Because if you understand nothing, and then blah blah blah, and then you just and maybe this is what happens, and I'm not really sure, but if it would be really cool. And then
okay, all right.
And I can really go nuts, but sourcing back to the looking at your stressful thing, and then scaling it, analyzing it, looking back and falling back and figuring out, because then you can then you can get to the source of it, and then you can do something about it. And then you have this written down. I don't know what this is, but we have to succeed in a way that feels good. Where are you going with that?
So I'm just saying, if you want to succeed and you're doing it in a way that doesn't feel good, it's a lot harder to succeed.
Oh yeah, that would suck.
So you have to find the way to get to way to success that feels good to you. Otherwise, you're going to be tearing down walls. And
there's a little bit of a paradox there, because at some level, if you want to really be successful, you're going to have to do things that suck.
Well, yes, but to get to that point, what's it doing?
I don't know. But to get to that point, go ahead and finish what you're saying.
But to get to that point, you have to, in sales,
okay.
How they were saying, you have to sell something that you love, that you are passionate about. So you sell a product at the gym Like you want people to feel better about themselves. You want them to be
Oh yeah,
positive influence.
it has to be a win-win.
So you have to feel good about what you're.
Yeah, I don't know how I couldn't do it. Like to me, the litmus test is: can I sell it? Do I sell it to my mom? Not can I sell it to my mom? Do I sell it to my mom? Say to my mom, I was like, Mom, you have to be on fish oil. It is not optional. Like we had you have to be on vitamin D. You have to be on a probiotic. You have to take this stuff.
But you believe that because
I believe in it so wholeheartedly. You have to lift weights.
It's your duty to, like, for your knowledge, you have to show people how to work out correctly and not injure themselves and
that's appropriate for their body.
Exactly.
Yes.
So that's what it means. Like when I said that, we have to succeed in the way that feels good. So you have to give your message in the way that feels good. If you were giving out the message, oh, smoke cigarettes and sit on the couch and blah, 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 then you're not going to feel good about yourself. No. That doesn't feel good.
No, but. And
when they succeed, when you succeed, then they're able to succeed in their goals.
It's not a zero-sum game. It's a non-zero-sum game. When someone signs up at the gym, the value that they get better be 10 times what they paid. At least, and our relationship is going to grow, and the effect that they have from being around me, and the effect that I have of being around them, like everything, both of us win, and if both of us don't win, then we're both going to lose.
Yeah, your positive influence will give them the ability to be a positive influence on the people that are around them.
Yeah,
and I think that's kind of a powerful thing because it could either be positive or negative.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to spread the negative, then that's your deal. But if you want to spread the positive,
then you have to come to Crit Gym.
Shut up. All right.
All right. And then what's the last one?
That was it, actually. Sorry.
Oh, does that say it's your duty?
We already did that.
Oh, I like how you wrote it down there. It's your duty to take care of yourself so we can serve others.
Yeah. It's kind of like the theme of what we've just been talking about.
Yeah, but that's what I say all the time is if you take care of yourself first, you are better at all the things that make you great, and you're of better service to all those that you care about. If you don't take care of yourself first, you can't be upset when you come in last, and you're always going to come in last. You're never going to be the mom that you want to be. You're never going to be the dad that you want to be. You're never going to be the spouse that you want to be. You're never going to be the business person you're never going to be in the shape that you want to be in. You're not going to have the health that you want to have. You're going to sacrifice everything just because you didn't ever take the responsibility for yourself.
Well, then maybe that's a bad kind of selfish then, because it's just like you're not willing to step up to the plate. Like I
think it's the most it's the negative side of selfish, that it is the most selfish thing to not take care of your health, because like it's the most selfish thing to not go out and make money for your family. It's the most selfish. Like people think that that's greedy and selfish. No, it's selfish not to do those things. It's the other way around.
Yeah, because if you're showing your children an example of what it is to be unhealthy and in a bad relationship,
exactly,
and hate your job, and in an awful marriage, then you're showing them that that's the normal.
And that gives them the roadmap that they think that that's how it should be. That gives them that foundation of everything that they'll ever be. And that's super sad to me.
It is.
And that's why I say like her being on the show. I wanted her on the show because it robs the world. If people don't know about what she has to offer, it robs the world of her genius, of her love, of her everything that she has to give. If people don't know these things, like if you don't do social media and give out your superpower to the world, if you don't freely give it away, man, you are robbing the world of the gift that you brought. The gift of just you being here, like the Steve Prefontaine quote, to not do your absolute gut-wrenching best. I forget how he puts it, but it's basically to not do your absolute gut-wrenching best is to rob the world, the world of the gift or something like that. But don't rob the gift.
Heard.
Anyway, you want to close this out? It's about that time.
Okay, so 6:45 is the meetup.
6:45 is the beginning of the work. If they show up at 6:30, we'll just kind of hang out for a little bit. 6:45 is the beginning of the warm up.
You don't necessarily have to work out either, right?
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
You got to earn that free food.
No. It's not my thing, but I'm just saying, there is going to be the meetup afterwards. Yeah, if you just wanted to come to the meetup, I suppose. And talk to everyone. But it'd be cool to come and do the workout. Yeah, we want to see everybody there. Yeah, definitely. So 6:45.
Seis,
6:45.
Cuatro.
Oh no!
Cinco.
Don't even try that.
Yeah, show up at 6:30. We'll start warming up at 6:45. We'll actually get working out at 7. We'll probably be done like 7:35, 7:45. Then we're gonna bust down to Wildwood, and we're going to munch and gouge. And what are some other words for
not gouge?
Gorge. Gorge. That's what I was going for. Gouge was the wrong word.
Gouge.
Yeah.
All right. Share and all that good stuff.
Yeah, please comment, please like, please share, please slap that share button, send it out to everybody you know. Thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. It's pretty cool when people actually show up. But anyway, also, we did this on a different platform today. We use a different platform. If you're still on here, please write in the comment section and tell us how you liked it, because it's from the computer, not from the regular camera that we use. Tell us how it came through. Anyway, thanks for being here, guys. Really appreciate it. We'll see you tonight.